Well, here we are. We are in mid-October, and lots of stuff is going on out there. Lots of stuff. Get the coffee. The all-important coffee. Most important meal of the day, right? Yeah. Well, it's been quite wet here the past couple of days. We had this big storm front that they called it a nor'easter, but I wouldn't call it a nor'easter. I would just call it a small storm. Nor'easter is like bad, you know. It's like a bad storm where you get like a few feet of snow and blizzard conditions, whiteout, and, you know, yeah. That's a nor'easter. This was just a kind of a gusty, windy rainstorm, and the wind wasn't even that high. It was only like 20-30 miles an hour. I've had 70-mile-an-hour winds right here. That's right. But anyway, this is not about weather. But that's why I'm dressed the way I am, because the chilly weather along with the wetness makes things colder. Okay. The wind and the wet combined with the temperature, all those mixed up, makes things colder. So what makes things better? Wool. That's right, wool. So that's why I'm wearing what I'm wearing. And we'll discuss that later. But right now, my vehicle is at the service center getting sorted, which I'm still recovering from the shock of the amount of money that it's costing. But you know, I've had the vehicle for about 20 or so years, and it has needed very, very little. It's a reliable vehicle. So anyway, just got to do it. You know, you just got to take the hit, so to speak. And so that's what I've been dealing with that. So that's why you guys haven't seen me, and I've been kind of in a funk over that. But it is what it is. They knocked off some money. They did a little better, but not much. But that's all right. I mean, I gotta get through it. It's like everything else in life. Okay. Now, I make these videos for you guys, but I got this USB device from one of my friends. I have very few friends, but I got this from one of my friends, and he put this thing on here, removed before flight, right? I know that they put these on some coats and jackets and things out there. I don't know which ones, but probably a bomber coat or something, bomber jacket. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It's waterproof. It's got a watertight seal on each end, and you have to unscrew it, and then your USB is inside. Okay, so it's pretty well protected in there. It is probably EMP resistant. Is it EMP proof? I don't know. There's only one way to find out. EMP it. But anyway, that USB, I make these videos for you guys, but I'm going to be making a video for extended family members so that it's going to go along with my will. And it will explain not only the rapture. It will also talk about the house and things in particular, where stuff is. You want to leave something behind for the next person, because if you explain it in your own words, then they don't have to be guessing. If you leave a note or a sticky, a post-it, oh yeah, this is the lawnmower. No, I think they got that. But anyway, hey, you know what? Downstairs in the cellar, there's this tiny valve that turns the water on and off to the barn. And it's here at this particular location. Things like that help people, right? Now, whether you're just passing on, or you got harpazoed out of here, raptured out of here in the rapture, right? Because you need it. There's going to be people left behind. It's unfortunate, but there will be. There's going to be people that are not believers that are going to be left behind, and you just, you want to leave stuff as clear as you can for them, right? So that's going to be the video that goes on here. I tried it the other day, and then my camera malfunctioned and I lost the video. It was like over an hour. It's really annoying. So, coffee. I'm actually getting hot right now with this on, but I wasn't hot earlier. I was chilled, so I put this on. Now I'm getting hot, but we will talk about it in a while. The main topic, which I am now getting to, is going to be what's going on in the Middle East. They got, what, 20 hostages or whatever? I don't think that that's what they were expecting. And I'll be honest with you, I think that Trump is rather easygoing compared to how I would be if I were dealing with that situation. Or even Netanyahu. I know Netanyahu is kind of like beholden to Trump a little bit, because the U.S. has given so much aid to Israel over the years, because that's a military foothold in the Middle East for the United States. A lot of people just don't seem to understand that. They're either too or they don't want to listen or something. But the Israel has been a foothold for the United States since '48, when it became a nation again. And it's jumping off place anywhere in the Middle East for the United States. But the thing is that if I were Trump or Netanyahu, that country would have already been cleared out of all Muslims. 100% clear. What country puts up with some other country telling them that their people cannot, in their own country, cannot pray on the Temple Mount? Right? I'm not Jewish, but the thing is that if Israel is my country, okay, if I were Israeli and I were Jewish, I'd pray on the Temple Mount all dang day long, and nobody's going to tell me otherwise, because that's my country. That's not their country. It's not Jordan's country. You see? No. They should have got rid of all the Muslims, and they should have 100% restored Israel as a nation the way it should have been, But they didn't do that. Now they got the Waqf over there. They've had the Waqf over there, and they, which is basically the Muslim police controlling the Temple Mount. Man, I just really can't fathom any country or any country's leader allowing somebody else to be there and control part of their country. No, no way. I don't care if there's Egypt. I don't care if there's Iran. I don't care if there's Saudi Arabia. I don't care if there's Qatar. I don't care about any of these other Muslim nations around Israel. If I were the leader of Israel, I would say, get out of here or else. I will turn that area of this country into a dust bowl, and your dead bodies will be part of the dust. Right? I will do that to get these invaders out of my nation. And this is the way that people in the United Kingdom need to be, and in Ireland as well, and also even to a lesser extent into the United States, because it is happening also in the United States. These Muslims are coming in. I saw this video recently on Dearborn, Michigan, people trying to hand out Bibles, not even in a fair, which is that is a U.S. thing, right? We have carnivals and fairs. They had one going on. These guys were trying to hand out Bibles outside of the place, and Dearborn, Michigan police were stopping them. Some people, I guess, got arrested for handing out the Bible, because they got quote-unquote Sharia law there. And you know what? This is the United States. Guys, all these quote-unquote militias, these Michigan militia and all that used to exist. I don't know if they're still around. But if you're still around, you need to go in there and stomp some mass. I was thinking about that Massachusetts license plate I saw the other day, right? Go in there and stomp some Massachusetts. You need to go in there and take care of business. Stop that. Those are invaders. You need to get rid of that. And if they try that stuff anywhere else, they need to get rid of that there too. This is the United States. I will not tolerate anybody walking around wearing a black sheet and face mask in this country. If I see them, I'll go over and I will bug them to no end and tell them how they need to go back to their own country, because this isn't their country, and their customs don't hold here. Their customs don't hold here. Get out. Nobody wants that here. We're not going to have that barbarian way of life here. We're just not. Anybody says, well, it's freedom of religion. Well, you know what? It's freedom of religion. It's not freedom of slavery. Is that even a thing? It's not freedom of slavery. It's not. This country wasn't founded so that you could bring your customs, which includes enslaving women, to this country. No, that's not a religion. That's not a religion. Back when I was a Catholic, okay, because I was raised Catholic, I have all the copies of the Roman ritual, which there are 3 of them. And the Catholics say, in the Roman ritual Romanus, right? It says in there that Islam is an evil sect. Okay, that's right. It says when somebody is converting from Islam to Catholicism, it talks about that right there. It says converting from that evil sect, right? Doesn't say that even about other religions. It only says it about Islam. Okay, but now, you had Pope Humpty Dumpty, who just passed away, Francis. He's over there kissing the Quran. No. You know what? That should go in the burn pile. Throw it in the wood fire. Bye. You say, well, have you even read it? Yeah, I read some stuff out of the Quran. You know, I mean, like, beat your wife and set her bed aside from yours until she comes around to your way of thinking. Yeah, it's in there. There's a lot of stuff in there that they won't tell you it's in there. To be honest with you, I read a few passages out of it just so that I could, say, yeah, I read some of it. I'm not going to sit there and read it all. Because I'll tell you what happened. I actually got a physical headache from reading parts of that unholy book. The Quran is an evil book. It's an evil book. It's an evil textbook. And you don't want it in or around you. It needs to go in the fire. That's right. You need to burn it. Get rid of it. And I don't care if anybody likes what I say about it either. Say something to my face. Lose a few teeth possibly if you're not careful. So, the thing is that things are going on in the Middle East with Trump and with Netanyahu and with all these other Arab leaders and stuff. Everybody's talking about the covenant with many, Daniel 9:27. But what you have to understand is that this stuff is publicized. So that means everybody could see it. So what does that mean? It means that Christians are looking at something, but they are not seeing the Antichrist. Why? Because he, the quote-unquote Antichrist, will confirm a covenant with many. That's what it says. He will confirm a covenant with many. He will confirm a covenant with many. Okay? That means if Trump and all the other dudes are sitting around the table and they are making this treaty with their little organization that they created, they're making a covenant. But the Antichrist is not there. He confirms covenant with many. This is why people need to slow down a little bit. And they need to take it all in. Okay, what does the Bible say? What is happening? Who's there? And see, the thing is that 2 Thessalonians 2, 6, 7, and 8, verses 6, 7, and 8, okay, says that the restrainer, the Holy Spirit, which is what fills all Holy Spirit-filled Christians, must be removed, and then that wicked one shall be revealed. Verse 8. Okay? That's what it says. So no, we will not actually physically see who confirms the covenant with many. Confirms the covenant with many. How many times can I say it? Confirms the covenant with many. Okay? The Antichrist will confirm a covenant with many. They are doing a covenant with many now. But the Antichrist has not confirmed the covenant with many. Okay? That is what the particular details is what you have to be very observant of. Read it before you sign it in life. Right? Read it good before you sign it. Any kind of contract or whatnot, or you go out and you get something done, Yeah. In this case, we are listening and we are making sure of the details, right? This is what we're doing. But the harpazo, the rapture, must happen before the Antichrist is revealed. No, we don't. Okay, so this basically, if this is a covenant with many, okay, if it is, I'm not saying it is, but if it is, then that says that Trump is not the Antichrist, because he is doing the covenant. Okay, he's making this thing to quote unquote bring peace and all that. If we could visually see who it is, that's not the Antichrist, right? But he sure has a lot of earmarks, doesn't he? But you know, the devil is a deceiver. That's what Satan means. It means deceiver. Great deceiver is what the word Satan means. Yeah. That's what it means. He's been given all these awards, Trump has. I mean, it's hard to say. He could be, he could not be. You know, we might be wrong about that. You know, it's all a smoke and mirrors show. You know, that's what it is. The whole thing's smoke and mirrors. But we know we're at the end. We know, man, we are so close. Not even funny. And then you still have people with all of the evidence pointing towards the rapture, the harpazo, all of the evidence, still have their head in a hole, saying that there's no rapture, saying that rapture stuff is unbiblical and all that stuff. Those are the type of people that just listen to a lot of other people, and they have not studied the Bible. They don't even have the Holy Spirit. I guarantee you they don't have the Holy Spirit, because they wouldn't be saying all that stuff if they did. The Holy Spirit is what reveals the truth of the matter to you. Okay? Yeah. Make sure you keep oil in your lamps. You know, Holy Spirit filled. Because if you are not Holy Spirit filled, you will be taken off guard. You will be caught in the dark like a thief in the night. I'm not going to be. I'm Holy Spirit filled Christian, and I am watching because the Lord commanded us to watch. Okay? He commanded us to watch. And that's what I and many others are doing. You know. And I had that confirmation that the Lord is going to be taking us out of here soon. Over the radio, I heard it. Our man is coming. Our man is coming. And when he gets here, night's going to be like day. And it's going to be a jubilee. You know, a jubilee is a celebration. It's going to be a celebration for Holy Spirit-filled Christians. It's not going to be a celebration for people who miss it. Okay? Who think that there is only the second coming. That they have to go through the rapture. The Holy Spirit is like God's hand or foot. Okay? It is bound to God. Right? It is bound to God. So, he's not going to persecute himself. It all says all throughout the Bible that we will be saved from the wrath. We will be saved from all these things. Revelation 3 and 10. We will be saved from that hour of temptation that comes upon the whole world. What is the hour of temptation? It's probably that time when everybody is, you know, told, you know, well, if you take the mark, everything will be hunky-dory. You know, that's probably what the hour of temptation is, because you can either have a good life or you could be killed. You know, that's very tempting to some people. Oh, well, maybe God will forgive me. You know, It goes through their mind, oh, maybe God will forgive me because he knows I'm weak. Okay, go ahead and give me the mark, blah, blah, blah. And then once they have it, then they'll be like, crap. Because they'll pick up a Bible and they'll read Revelation 14 and they'll say, that leads to damnation. There's no forgiveness for the mark of the beast. So don't take it. So I'm not taking it. And you should not take it. And you know what? You only die once. There is no reincarnation crap. None of that. You're either gonna, you're just gonna die. So if you die and you believe in Jesus and you're not taking the mark and everything, you're gonna be fine. It'll hurt. Possibly. It'll possibly be quick. It could be quick. It could hurt. But the thing is once you're past that, Jesus says, suffer joyfully. All right. And once you're past this body, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And you know what? The thing is, and I'm talking about if you're not raptured. If you're raptured, your whole body is going to be transformed into a new body, and you will go as a complete unit to heaven. You'll be up there. You will be with Jesus forever. Wherever Jesus is, you'll be with him. So, but if you miss the rapture and you die for Jesus, he will, he'll take care of you. He'll take care of you. Because that's what it means, the souls under the altar and all that. When you read Revelation, that's the souls under the altar. Those are people who got martyred for Jesus during the Great Tribulation. Because those who don't go in the harpazo, the rapture, they will be here for the tribulation because they didn't believe in Jesus. They wouldn't accept Jesus, and so on. Maybe they were Muslim, maybe they were Jews, maybe this, maybe that, maybe they were atheists. But they will quickly discover the truth of the matter, and they will pick up a Bible. That's right. Come back to you in another one. See you there.